All right, let's go to our From the Outside In topic, where each week we talk about a topic that's on ours or our listeners' minds. This week our topic is, what are our most annoying film cliches? Those things that lazy filmmakers employ, like a cat jumping out at our hero in a horror movie, the victim always falling down in a horror movie, one of those times where athletic prowess should be evident, but apparently they always fall down. That kind of thing. What are our most annoying cliches that are still in movies today? Scott, you want to start?
Sure. My most annoying film cliche has got to be the romantic comedy formula, just in general.
Oh, boo.
No, narrow it down.
Be more specific.
Narrow it down, brother. Cliche. Yep, you better get there.
I'm getting booed for that? No, I love romantic comedies, but the generic ones where guy meets girl, they fall in love, or he woos her in some way. They go on their relationship. He fucks up somehow. She leaves him. He turns around and does some beautiful thing at the very end of the movie to win her back over. Roll credits.
Makes an ass out of himself in public.
Something that wins over the audience, wins over her, and then you never see anything after that when one of them jacks up again down the road.
I really love cars, so I'll probably pay attention to a few of these things more than some others. But there's a couple of things like car tires do not squeal on dirt or gravel roads.
No, they don't.
I don't care how hard you rear end somebody or have a head-on collision, cars don't flip.
Or jump each other.
Yeah, right. If you rear end a car going 150 miles an hour, your car does not flip off on its right side as it tumbles over and then blows up in black smoke. So, drivers, when a guy's driving, the camera's on, and he or she is looking at whoever's in the passenger seat for like 5 minutes without even looking at the road.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Those are a few of mine, and I've got more, but what have you got, Justin?
Well, and apparently car manufacturers in movies make their gas tanks out of flint. Those things just fucking explode.
Yeah.
Like they're a bunch of Pintos or something.
I don't think a car, in any realistic scenario would blow up if it, midway through a fall off a cliff.
No.
Yeah, if it had a bomb attached to it, fair enough. But just because, you clipped another oncoming vehicle and you veer off a 2,000-foot cliff, your car does not just spontaneously blow up midway down.
Especially since the gas tank isn't there, generally.
Right.
Well, in a similar vein, do we all not now understand that shooting a gas tank or shooting gas laying on the road, a bullet is made of lead. Lead does not spark. Therefore, shooting it ain't going to cause an explosion of any sort. I thought we all learned that a long time ago, but I continue to see it.
And speaking of the trail of gas, the gas itself is not nearly as flammable as the fumes are. The fumes are what usually ignite the gas when there's a spark.
Right. Mythbusters has gone through this shit before.
I actually saw a movie once, and this is a true story. I couldn't tell you the life of me what the movie was called. I think it was some shitty TV movie. But it was on gravel, and there was a trail of gas, and they shot it, and it caught on fire. And all I could think was, it's fucking possible. There's no way that could possibly happen.
Even if you had fire bullets, it would not happen.
And the worst part was the trail led to a car where they had the gas cap off a car. It wasn't even like dripping out of the tank or anything like that. It's just the gas cap was off. The trail led to the car, and therefore the car exploded. Because apparently the fumes were so compacted in that one area. Oh, God. Sorry, Justin, go ahead.
Well, and in a completely different vein, you open this up with talking about how in horror movies, they'll try and get you with that cheap scare of either a cat jumping at you or, they'll do that little musical, the violin will suddenly screech and that's supposed to frighten you, the boo scare. Another horror cliche, though, that I really hate is if you have a character who's looking in a mirror, say their medicine chest, and they open it to get something out of it, that as soon as they close it, or if the camera pans away from the mirror for a second to follow them getting a towel, as soon as that camera comes back around, there's going to be something in it. It infuriates me that they try and ruin a good scare by using these tired techniques.
Well, and it doesn't help that they use that same scene in every preview too. So
Yeah.
so it's not like even in the movie, in the in the part of the movie that is there, you still know it's coming. I don't hate that as much. It is very predictable. I know it is. It doesn't get me, but I do kind of look forward to it a little bit. I hate to say that, but I do. It is very it is very cliche. It is way overdone, and so.
Speaking of cars, the one that really gets me is anytime a horror movie, when the car won't fucking start, the car you've been driving the entire movie, no problems, never even a little sputter.
You've got a brand new Mercedes, and now all of a sudden it won't start just because the serial killer is chasing you.
Exactly.
How about no cell phone reception? Like, that just seems like, where does a cell phone not freaking work?
Yeah, and they're in the middle of the city.
Not everybody has AT&T. I mean, some people...
And also, running out of gas. Who doesn't check the gas gauge? Who has no idea this is coming?
Right.
Oh, shit, guys, we're out of gas. Oh, man, I didn't see that coming. What a surprise.
Oh, I got one. How about when couples are laying in bed, they always have those L-shaped blankets where the guy is waist up, but her tits are covered, like no matter what movie it is. Or in the same token, they just got done having sex. Guy is naked, but she's wearing a bra and a shirt that she somehow had time to put on.
Sometimes you're in a hurry, Scotty. You got to get it done. You don't have all day, brother.
That ain't how Scotty rolls. But yeah, Scotty brought up romantic comedies. And the one thing that always infuriates me is in these movies when the drama comes from one character not giving a piece of information to the other one that had they just said it would have completely solved any misunderstandings and they would have been ushered off into their happily ever after. But because of some stupid trumped up reason, they don't say that one thing and then you get all the misunderstandings and issues that are resolved at the end of the movie when they're holding the boombox or whatever up. I hate that stupid lack of communication where just about every other couple in real life would have already been yelling about that very thing.
Some of my big ones are action movies where the hero and villain fire off like 640 rounds of ammunition and either A, don't reload, or B, don't hit anything of significance the entire time. It's like watching the A-Team episodes from the 80s all the time. I don't understand that. How the fuck are you the hero that's going to save the world when you can't hit the guy that's 10 feet in front of you? I just don't understand it.
Unless it's Army of Darkness, it's okay then, right?
Yeah, well then it's funny. Or when they find a way to use a paperclip or a credit card to get your ass into some otherwise pretty secure ass location. That always cracks me up. Like, oh, I can't get in there. Oh wait, I got a paperclip. I'll get in. And they've got high-tech security. Come on, man. It's 2012. It ain't going to happen. And right before dispersing into the villain, that annoying monologue that they still do. I mean, Austin Powers has made fun of it 100 times, and they're still doing it in movies where they still have time to make a monologue explaining the entire motivation behind everything they've done. I don't get it. I just don't get it. And I'm kind of tired of the clever little retort right before they dispatch the bad guy, too. Because it's never as funny as the writers think it is.
Ah, come on. If it's Arnold Schwarzenegger giving it.
But he hasn't given it in a while.
Your luggage.
Well, unless you're made.
Let off some steam, Bennett.
Yeah.
What about going racial here for a second?
Uh-oh.
What?
I did that earlier.
What?
And I did it very badly, so be careful.
I'll tiptoe. How's that?
Okay.
The black guy always dies first.
That's
Always.
true. That's true. And even it
If
seems
there's-
like
a red shirt.
it's even in horror movies where they like now they're trying to be aware of this and they still kill him first. Tell me that.
I know. But it's funny because when you have a movie with some Latinos or Latinas, and they're speaking, this kind of bugs me is where they'll speak with an accent, but they're speaking perfectly good English. But instead of saying like sir or thank you, they still say senor or gracias.
Yes, to illustrate that they're Spanish.
Yeah, it's like, okay, why can't you just if you know how to articulate the way some pipes in a sewer system are laid out, then surely you know how to say thank you in English.
I don't also understand why there's still the cliche of the black stereotype character. is still in movies.
Blang
today.
blang.
Yeah, that guy. The Damon Wayans from Living Color Days. I don't understand why that still exists. I still see him pop up every now and then. I'm like, what? In movies that are made by African American filmmakers. Kevin Hart is a perfect example of that exact stereotype.
Good point.
Okay.
How about the
That's
phone?
getting a little off topic. I'm sorry.
Topic? How about the phone? Does anybody ever notice that nobody says goodbye when they hang up the telephone in movies?
Yeah.
They just stop talking and shut the phone off or hang it up.
Fuck, dude. Jack Bauer's got shit to do. He ain't got time. He ain't got time to sit there and be pleasantries.
It feels awkward,
Give
though.
pleasantries.
You're waiting for the, all right, talk to you later, goodbye, and it's never there. Watch the next movie you watch and they're on the phone. They just end the conversation.
The other person needs to understand they got shit to do. They don't have time to talk to me.
Or what about like the space-time continuum where you've got our hero that's, you're there, you're watching him interact with somebody else. He gets a call saying, "Hey man, you need to check the news." And then he turns on the TV, and then all of a sudden it's now in our next story, Joe Schmo is wanted for murder of his boss.
Or it's like that whole sci-fi thing, and Prometheus did this, but so many movies have done it before, of characters taking off their helmets because they think that the air is breathable for whatever dumb fucking reason. They think it's breathable. I mean, there could be one particle in a million of a poisonous gas or a bacteria that would kill them in minutes. But one guy takes it off, takes a good deep breath, doesn't keel over immediately. And so everybody else is like, well, this is a great idea. And they all follow suit. Come on, people. Don't be dumb.
Well, and they're smart enough to get from one planet to another planet gazillions of miles away, but they can't figure out the consistency of the atmosphere to whether they can breathe it or not.
Before they land, yeah.
Before they land or even while they're walking around.
Did you guys see Galaxy Quest where they address that in a funny way? Do you remember that
I've
movie?
seen it,
Yeah.
but I don't remember it.
I don't remember that.
I think, is the air breathable? He goes, seems good. It's just like, I don't know.
Oh, man. There's so many of them. There's so many stupid-ass cliches that are out there these days. And I guess it's dispensing the villain, not dispersing.
They just hand him out. You get a villain, and you get a villain, and you get a villain.
Who's got the evil Pez dispenser? Okay, pop the head, get a villain.
That's what I call it when I fart. Dispersing the villain.
All right. Any other last ones before we wrap up?
My head hurts.
Why is it no man grows facial hair when he's been in the jungle or the desert?
He only gets stubble.
It's like nobody has to carry a razor or nothing. They just, they're stranded out there, but yet they still got clean shaven skin.
There's no 6 o'clock in the jungle. It's only 5 o'clock.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, if anybody has any clever ones they want to send us, we'll read them on the air. At feedback@thehollywoodoutsiders.com. It's feedback@thehollywoodoutsiders.com.